So this is the Studio Platinum PT990 65%, which is a mouthful, but the inspiration behind creating something like this is around gentle lines, minimalism, and elegance. So before getting to the board, I'm going to change up the format a bit. I'm going to talk about the neutrals, what I like, what I don't like, before getting to some concluding thoughts. Cool? All right, let's do it. Starting off with the neutral category, these are just baseline things that I want to go over. It is a group by format, which starts December 22nd. I'll have all the links down below. There's a good amount of customization choices as well for case color, badge choices, as well as weight options. It does come pretty well packaged in a nice little elegant box with everything you need, minus tools or stabs. It's a pretty straightforward build process. There's no nasty ribbon cables. All you really have to do is just make sure that the little gasket tabs fit within the cutout on the springs. And it's a fairly okay sound profile. It definitely leans towards the higher, clackier end of the spectrum, but overall it's pretty neutral. The alphas are pretty clean and the mods aren't overpowering as well. At least with no foam, there is a slight bit of hollowness within the case, but it does go away with case foam or if you decide to force break it. And now for the good. Aesthetically, this board is absolutely beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of the Dolphin 75 with the bigger emphasis on the bottom side of the case, but in the case of the PT990, I think it's pretty well balanced. The side profile is probably my favorite aspect about this board. There's a lot of elements here that give it a lot of depth and dimension to it, and it also hints at the really large stainless steel weight on the bottom side of the case. Feel-wise too, the board is quite soft. Similar to the spring, we have molded copper leaf springs that mount to the plate with gasket tabs, and even when using a slightly stiffer plate like FR4 and the 1.2mm PCB, it's quite a plush typing experience. I would actually recommend maybe using a slightly softer plate so that the entire PCB and plate assembly can kind of flex on itself as opposed to kind of just moving up and down, if that makes any sense. Another tidbit I want to just point out is the pre-bent JST ribbon cable. It's not game-changing in any way, but it's a welcomed addition nonetheless. As for what I don't like, Studio took minimalism a little too far, specifically in the compatibility department, and hear me out on why. You are locked to a 6.25 bottom row, with the only point of customization being a stepped or regular caps lock. And I feel for a board at this price point, there should at least be the option for 7U, and if I had the power, I would also include split backspace. But what's interesting is that the plate supports 7U, there's cutouts for it, but the PCB does not. And on that option, there's only the hot swap PCB available. And looping back to price, the estimated starting price point is $415, which is understandably a bit hefty, but at the same time, I do understand that manufacturing this board cannot be cheap. So I hope this at least paints a clear picture in determining if picking up the PT990 is right for you. Understandably, $415, quite a bit of a hit on the wallet, but you are definitely getting a board that feels as premium as it looks, with probably one of the softest typing experiences I've ever tried in any board so far. At the same time, if the locked bottom row doesn't bother you, more power to you, and I think you'd be more than happy with what Studio has created. For me personally, the main deal breaker is unfortunately that locked bottom row. But putting that aside, if you do want to learn more about this board, I'll have all the links down below. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can click on either side of my face. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Take care, have a happy holidays, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.